Well, this is the lovely Packington Fisheries. I'm on Moody Molands again today, and it's round 3 of the Matrix Champs. I was on Larford, a very snaggy peg on Larford last time, but I'm on a nice looking peg today. Peg 15 on Molands, not the best peg, but it's a decent area, loads of room. There's only 20 of us on the whole of the 60 peg lake, so we've all got loads of room. I fancy catching some big F1 shallow if I can. I'm going to try and fish caster shallow, but I'll quickly swap to 4mm pellet shallow if I'm getting roached to death. I'm going to do that at 13-14 metres. I'm going to kick off with a ball of ground bait at the start just to kick the bottom off, and then try and catch shallow over the top. And meat short, casters down to my right, I think, and then micros ground bait and meat and maybe corn down to my left, and a method feeder across. That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swims, but hopefully we can narrow it down, just bag up shallow. You're going to want 100, 150 pound to win the lake, I think, maybe more. Might want 180. We're fishing 12 till 5, so good hours. Some huge F1s in here. So yeah, I've set the lot up as usual, but caster shallow is my opening gambit. Well, I'm sorry, the method feeder is going to be opening gambit whilst I prime that caster shallow line. We'll see if we'll catch on meat short or down the edges where they prefer to be. Nice and deep out here, it's about 7, maybe even 8 foot on the pole line, and I've probably got about 30 inches, 2.5 foot down the sides. So but it looks nice. There's a few fish moving around all over the shop, so I've had a little walk up and down. There's bubbles in more pegs than mine, so, but I'm hoping we can drag a few fish in and catch a few. So that's it.
Whip. There. And then I'm gonna quickly loose feed some casters over the top. And we're gonna feed my right margin from the off. I'm gonna leave my left one untouched for a little bit. Let's just put half a pot of ground bait and a few casters down there, and add a little bit of meat. I just fancy catching on casters down there if I can. There's a lot of silvers in here. Actually, you can see that ground bait a good foot down, so it's surprising. Right, so that's 2 swims primed. Let's chuck the feeder. Oh, great big carp just came up, about 3 metres short of the island. They're up to 20 pound in this lake. Just chucking about a foot short to begin with. Ooh, get that right. We'll see. Hopefully we can get on the shallow line after 45 minutes to an hour. I'll find a few more casters. The wind's a little bit tricky, so there's another reason why pellets might be better. But I've got a load of casters left over from the Darwin Masters, so it'd be silly not to use them, with it being my favourite shallow fishing bait. And I've had a couple of big weights. I think 180 pounds was my best weight on caster shallow on this lake, and those big F1s really do like the casters. So I've got Criscup Barley to my left, several pegs away. Looks like he's starting on the waggler. Set right. And just keep priming this caster line. You might not see them, they're up to £10 the F1s in this lake. So big clever things. We'll just keep plopping a few casters down there as well. That's going to be sort of my F1 margin, and this margin to my left is going to be my carpy margin, or carp and big F1 margin, should we say. as far as shallow goes, the jigger's been working really well on here, on the Wednesday matches apparently. So I've got 2 or 3 jigger rigs made up. The hard thing to work out on this lake, because it's wide and it's a deep lake, is whether to use short kits or long kits for the F1s, because they're massive. You'll get them in quicker on a short kit, but you might appreciate the extra elastic of a long kit. So I've got a jigger on a long kit and a jigger on a short kit. I just have to say, it's always a dilemma on this lake. I mean, the F1s could average £1 a piece, but they could average £3 to £5 a piece. Not quite short kit F size. We'll see. Now, chucking to my right, the method, there's one nice clean bank to the right. It all looked a bit higgledy-piggledy straight in front, so I've gone to my right where it looks really undercut. So that's where we're going to aim for. I'm going to have a few quick chucks shortish, like a foot short, and then I'm going to go mega tight. I don't want to snag up first cast. We'll just keep ringing the dinner bell on that shallow line. I'm going to make just quick, like 3-4 minute casts on this method. I'm not going to feed my short line yet, my meat short line. Let's just hold fire. I don't want to get too busy ahead of myself. I've got loads of casters. I've got 6 pints of casters, which is loads. It's hard to feed more than 4 or 5 pints really when you're busy. We'll just keep dinking a bit of bait in. Let's get them bubbling. I think if I hadn't got casters, I'd happily just come with a couple of bags of 4mm pellets. Once that's sinking, we'll give it a bit more bait. I'm a bit worried about the wind. But actually, we're not being blown about too much here, so quite a windy, cloudy day today. Like 15 degrees, so the red hot weather's past. Oh, I think we're due another heat wave soon. Oh, how's that not on? Tighter then. The reason for chucking that way is the line's out of the way of me shallow swim. Oh, a bit left one, I think that. Well, I waited a while for that, so let's sack it off, have a quick look down the side. Just an early look. Sometimes we're down the edge early, so I want to have a quick look. That was a little fish, whatever it was. Excited then. Let's just start off. Put a caster on. I think if I put a worm on, I'll catch a perch straight away. Just put a single caster on. So it might be a rope straight away, but if there's an F1 we'll be in business. Good. On the drop. That's what I half feared. Let's give him a bit more. try and bomb it down. Million little roach, which was kind of my worry. So we might not be feeding down there much longer. Casters. Let's try half a worm. It's just nice to establish what's down there though, isn't it? Decent little worm. Nothing. Right, I'm out on a jigger. Start on a jigger. Just try and work out what depth these fish are at. Could be 3 foot, it could be a foot. Oh, there we are. Got one. A big one. Got one. Oh. Oh, if they all come in like that, that's £4 that. All day long. There we are. Just whether they hang around. This jigger will help because it's quite windy. Wind's really got up now. And you just tend to cut out a lot of the roach trouble with a jigger. I fish Tunnel Barn reasonably regularly and the jigger's really lost effectiveness there. But a fixed rig seems much better there. But here it definitely still works. I've already proved. Oh, wind's really naughty now. Typical, isn't it? It's been fine until I literally pick up the pole up. Surely couldn't have been a loner, that fish. Pick up a fixed rig in a minute. And I fixed that for it for about 15 inches now. There you go, what's that? Come on, F1s. stunning fishing this lake if you can get them. Do not need many of those to the pound. So I'm fishing 13 at the moment. I've got a 14 metre on the pole behind me as well, so I can chase them out. Right, so let's just cut down the feed a little bit now until we start getting light. Just small amounts regularly now. So they're roachy. This is such a deep lake. Sometimes these fish, and it's quite a clear lake, they sometimes sit quite deep in this lake. I'll stop feeding for a bit then and have one. Just trying to work out what depth they're at now. That's only a small one. I'll try a bit deeper first. Had £100, £101 yesterday on at Woodland View, and unless you fish 12 inches deep, you wouldn't think there was a fish in the lake. Come shallower, not a bite. Go deeper, not a bite. So it might be one of those days where you just got to find the golden depth. A longish line rig like this, where I can search up and down to begin with. There we are, straight away. So that one we got. That's the only problem I'm going to have today. Is occasional ones doing that. £4 there. Wrecked me margin. At least £4. So I've got 3 fish for £10 there. All day long. And half a redwood. Oh, it's just wrapped round him now. Come on, unwrap. Ooh. You just see it wrapped round him. And so anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I hadn't had a bite for a bit, so I've just dropped it full 14 metres, and that went straight away. Hopefully it's not foul up, I just think it's wrapped round him. Yeah, no, he's in the mouth. He's only £3 that one. I better start clicking really, hadn't I? Yeah, shallow up. I've got a feeling they are quite shallow, but being quite cute. So 17, 16, 15, 14 inch. Let's just see. So we've had 5 F1s now, from sort of 10 ounces to £4. Deep, 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 deep. Oh. About 18, 20 inch now. I can only get a bite at the full 14 off the back end of my casters. Which is fine as long as the wind don't go up. Another big one. fish an inline dibber, bulk, and it's actually a 3-inch hook length that. And I'm fishing 014 because I've been seen off on 012 on this lake so many times, and they're massive F1, so they just put a lot of punishment on your hook length. So I fish 014 rather than 012 that I would often have fished. I feel like these fish are doing me a little bit at the moment. But they're big F1s, so they're ultra hard to catch. Oh, there's a little one. Well, that's the biggest one so far. He's £5 all day long. It's £5 all day long, that one. I've just swapped back to a jigger. And I've got something very angry on here. It's gone all through my pegs. I don't know if I foul looked at it. Nope. Just went mental when I hooked him. Just another bigger one. I think the jigger might be the way forward now. Now I've revved him up a bit. I must have £30 already. And all my rigs are the same today. I've just got a 014 to a 16, 10 to 12 slip. I have got one rig on 12 to 14. But this 10 to 12 seems ideal actually in a short kit. And a bulk and a 3-inch hook length. I might have a couple with a 4-inch hook length actually. I used to do really well with a 6-inch caster shallow, so it's just, so I've got no problem using a 6-inch as well. It's just that that's what's been best for me lately, a 3-inch, although I haven't tried a 6-inch for a long time now, other than when I'm coaching. I actually approve that you can catch equally well on a 6-inch a lot of the time without having to chop them down. The wind's dropped nicely now as well. Yeah, that was right at the bottom of the drop, so they have dropped down a bit. They're definitely up and down a bit today, which is why this jigger is definitely a good option. I'm still feeding casters there. Could come shallow down the reeds. Might be just a touch too close to me for that, but you just don't know. It's just nice to be able to throw somewhere whilst you're busy doing other things. God, these fish in this lake are stunning. Got to be the best looking fish in the country at Packington. And they're hardest to catch some days as well. You won't think there's one in the lake some days. But the biggest F1 I've seen is £10, £10.4 or £10.6 I think it was in here. And my biggest is £7.12. That's the thing, even though there's loads of roach, the F1s like these little baits as well. So some days you just got to plough through the roach and then the F1s will push them out of the way, rather than fish them much more selective, which they may or may not eat. Let's drop it down to about there then, that's where we had that last bite. A little roach or something on then. I'm not bagging, am I? But every one I'm catching is big. A little bit of tapping. Who knows why tapping works, but it does. Right, it went a bit funny on the jigger and a few different rigs. I'm catching about, what's that, 10 to 12 inches now. And I just had a big one and a 2 pounder. Normally the 2 pounders are your big ones, aren't they? But, oh, we've got a pouch full, never mind. So, but they're definitely a bit skittish. You catch one and then you have to wait and build it up and catch another. I've not gone in and gone bang 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 yet, although this depth feels a little bit more, I feel like I've got them up now. They just, there we are, see? It just feels right now, feels dead right. I think they're there, just for some reason I can't suspend a jigger at that height and get one. I need that fixed depth ready. Tempting fate here, but other than that third fish, all the others have behaved themselves. As far as going into the reeds, should have had him then. Beautiful fish. Yeah, this feels right now. Probably 11 inches, shall we say. Yeah, I think they're very shallow now, but they're coming up and going down pretty fast. If you fish any deeper, you don't get a bite. The last time I did a big weight here, everything was sort of, well, 18 inches to 2.5 foot. I've done a couple of big 100-pound weights of these F1s at that sort of depth. But today they seem to be up. Probably because it's not very bright. It's nice and cloudy, so they can just come up. I've tried a super shallow rig with a short line. I had a couple on that. I've just gone to a longer line now just to see. Especially these big ones, they don't always want to pole tip over their heads, or close to them. It's gone again now. Go on. There we are. Just stopping feeding for a little bit just helps. You obviously need to feed to get them there. And just cut off the food supply. And not sure what happened to that. Well, 3 casters made it. Probably not going to be the most exciting film you've ever seen, because I'm just slaying them caster shallow. That's got to be a bite. It's got to be close to 5 pound. Oh, he's got someone else's hook in him. Oh, I've actually hooked someone else's hook. Done my good deed for him. I don't think I had him in the mouth, I had someone else's rig. Oh, roach. Maybe that was the problem. Beautiful fish. Grey, that one, very grey. Well, it's just gone rubbish. It's gone rubbish now, so have a quick look. Yes, quick look down the side on a banded caster. Let them regroup, because all I've got is little rud and skimmers. See if there's any F1s down there. I'm feeding it long enough. If not, I might just stop feeding the casters there completely and swap to meat or something like that. Something a bit less silver fishy. I'd have had an F1 there if there was one. What I'm going to do is swap that to ground bait and micros, I think. What? We were having a chat this morning about pike, because I said there's some in here. We don't know if they count in this match anyway, but Jimmy Brooks has had one, as only Jimmy could. Let's back out on the jigger anyway. That little rest. So I'm going to save my casters just for that long line now. No more casters down the side. It just doesn't feel right. I think there's just too many silvers. So it's just going to be a case of swapping between that jigger and the fixed depth rig, just to keep a few fish coming, I think. Still debating whether to even bother feeding that meat short line. And then it's there again now. Might be the best run of the day, this. Go on, 21 or 23's bagging shallow as well. Every time I look up, he's netting one. There's a little pounder, it's nearly 2. He's £5. Look at that hump on that. Definitely going off now on that shallow line, so keep juggling those depths, and we'll feed our meat short line now. I'm going to feed both the other margin as well, I think. Bit of ground bait on meat. Look on meat. 7mm to start with. And the meat on short line again. Come on, big F1. Peg 23 is emptying it, which is I think the guy I can see. But it sounds like I'm doing okay in the section. This is my third fish, straight after resting that line. 3 in the bounce on the jigger. Amazing, it just that little bit of a rest. They all came in like that. Must have, I don't know, over £70 already. And I've got 2 hours to go, maybe £80. Boring for you, great for me. And a catapult. Bizarre. How do you catch a catapult shallow on caster? Well, that's a new one for me. I've caught a £4 F1 shallow on caster, and I've come back with the F1 and this. How do you catch a catapult shallow on caster? It must have wafted it up off the bottom and swam through it by my net. But I didn't think it was anywhere near the bottom when I was playing it. Oh well, free catapult. Bonkers. Just had one over £6. This one's 4. Just put a 5th net in just for a bit of security. I'm sure I'm well within, but get a bit giddy, and it's a job to work out how big those F1s are. So I don't want to miss out just because I haven't put enough nets in. Crucian. It's a massive crucian. Whip! Proper crucian carp. Wow. Oh, big crucian carp, last chuck.
Still waiting for the scales. I've got 5 nets in. I put an extra net in with 20 minutes ago just in case, and I've probably put, I don't know, it's probably £20 in there. So if I've got £40 in each and £20 in there, what's that? 4 4s, yeah, maybe. I think I've got 150, but we'll see. So, but I've had some F1s up to £6, I'd say, and a big Crucian right at the end, and I've had one mirror about £2, smaller than half my F1s. Margins were rubbish. Not wasted too much time down there, just every now and again just to rest me caster swim.
Well, whilst we wait for the scales, let's have a quick look at my rigs. That's my jigger rig. It's about a 0.4 gram. Takes 4 number 8s, and I foul looked. I've only lost one fish today, and it was a big fish that foul looked on the surf. Might have been a big carp swam into the line or something. So that's just done me up length. So and that's on 018 line with an old faithful 10 to 12 slick in a short kit, and that's been fishing. Let's have a look, see what depth we've been fishing. 3, yeah, so anything up to sort of 26 inches we've been fishing on that jigger. And then the other rig that's done all the damage is a little it's a little 0.2 inline dibber. That's on 018 line again. That's just got a bulk of 4 or 5 number 10s, 16 hook, and a 4mm bait band. You can't get these anymore. These are a frenzy bait band, but you can't get them no more. But they're just nice for pushing a caster in. And again, 014 hook length, 018 main line, and I've caught anything up to, what's that, 23 inches deep. About 20 inches was brilliant for a little bit, and then I've caught at a foot and 10 inches. It's just been moving up and down, so the whole rig is 29 inches long from top to bottom, and I've been catching anything from sort of 23 inches down. That's it. I've tried spreading it out, tried bits and bobs, but that's a bulk's been better.
Well, I'm glad I put 5 nets in the end. I was a bit worried because Peg 8 has had £193. I thought, well, I've definitely not got that, and I've weighed £194. But I've just found out he's not in my section, so Peg 23 has probably got more than me. But I'm hopefully going to frame, but we'll see. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. A lovely day's caster shallow fishing. That's pretty much all I did front to back. 3 or 4 chucks on the feeder. Whilst I primed it, 2 or 3 looks down the sides and 1 very quick look short. But to be honest, when you're catching 3 or 4 pound fish on that caster shallow, there's no point doing much else. So that's what I did for, well, probably 4.5 hours of the match. So yeah, £194, enough to win the lake, and 3rd overall in the match as well. There was 2 big 200-pound weights off little gearies, Phil Canning and Warren Jennings. They were on peg 7 and 29, basically fishing opposite each other. Absolute right area of the lake, and 2 very, very good anglers. Phil Canning's probably the best angler who fishes Packington, and one of the best anglers in the Midlands in my opinion. Absolutely phenomenal angler Phil is. So no mistakes off peg 7, and Warren's very, very good, especially at shallow fishing and stuff like that. He was actually next to me at Larford, wasn't he, on the last live match video I did, so I know he's a very good angler as well. So but yeah, they won little gearies, I won Molands. The whole venue fished pretty well. A lot of caster shallow dominated. Pellets have been dominated there for quite a while, but it was a caster week, so I made the right decision on the bait front. And it's nice when plan A is the right method. You know, plan A, I wanted to catch on caster shallow. I pretty much predicted what I needed to do, and it's exactly what I did. I said £180 to win the lake. I've had 194, my best ever weight on Molands, my best ever weight at Packington, and thoroughly enjoyable. I've not really bagged, have I? I've primed it and waited and caught, but when I've caught, they've been really big fish. So I'd hate to think what you'd catch if you could actually really line it up and go bang, bang, bang and catch a few. But yeah, nice, interesting fishing. Perhaps not the most exciting as far as changing rigs and tactics and different things, but I've just worked around a couple of rigs, a couple of depths. Yeah, that's done all the damage. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. I've only lost 1 fish. Something's crashed into me rig basically and shot off and broke me up length, but other than that, I don't think I've lost a fish. So just a nice day. Ooh, getting attacked by something there. But yeah, just a lovely day's fishing. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on another one.